Hey, welcome to my channel. If you are new, I would love to personally welcome you. If you would like to comment and subscribe, hit the little thumbs up arrow, all those things are great because it allows you to see when I upload new stories and we can go on this journey together. I have compiled a list of some of my favorite moments where I have recognized the sacred coming into the ordinary. And I like to call these the moments of sanctuary, something that is set apart. So today's story is particularly important to me. I wanted to go ahead and share it with you. I feel like this is one of the main reasons that I do the things that I do, particularly being called to be a youth minister and to work with teenagers. When I was a teenager myself, 14 years old, I went on my first mission trip to Mexico, to Mexicali. And we went as a church to the same village year after year, working on buildings and helping children's programs and do all these relationship building with that community. And it was just a wonderful time. Very poor community, no electricity, no running water or plumbing, very, very primitive. Never had seen that before up to this point in my life, and was just really a blessed time where everybody taught me so much. You know, you go there and you give, but you get so much back. And there were two girls in particular. I was 14, they were 12, Carolina and Christina, and we just didn't speak each other's language because I did not speak Spanish, they did not speak English, but we were just bonded together, laughing, doing charades in sign language, trying to communicate with one another. And they tried to give me their addresses, which didn't even look like addresses to me, but I went and I asked and I said, I want to write them. And they said, okay, well, first off, you need to have some realistic expectations because they're not going to be able to afford to write you back. And you're not going to know if they got your letters or not. In fact, it's very, very common for people to take the letters or packages and they don't reach their destination, or, you know, all these things. And I said, okay, I got that. So I did know that Carolina's birthday was coming up, and I had done some babysitting and had a little money, and I really thought to myself, you know, we take down all these hand-me-down clothes in our suitcases. We fill our suitcases up and we take all these hand-me-down clothes, and the kids there wear them. Year after year, you start seeing your clothes, other kids that you know clothes, and I thought, gosh, it would be so nice if she had something new. So I went to a store that doesn't even exist anymore, but it's kind of like a Marshall's, kind of like a more easy to afford for a teenager clothing store. And I went in and I picked out a dress, and it was white with pink roses on it. I almost bought a more expensive dress that was white with gold, but I thought, oh, that looks a little fancy. And I really wish in hindsight that I had gotten that one because I could have afforded it. But you know, I said, well, this other one's probably looks more like her, and I'm going to get this. But then I thought, how can she have a beautiful new dress with no shoes? And I knew in the marketplace they had these leather sandals that were for sale for $5. So I took a $5 bill and I hid it inside the sleeve because I was still thinking about them searching the package or taking it. And so I hid it in the sleeve with a Post-it note pinned to it that said zapatos, which I think means shoes. And so I thought she would, you know, figure out the idea. And I packaged it up and stuck it in a bubble mailer and put the address on it and went and paid for it and sent it off and just kind of had my fingers crossed that this was going to reach her. So again, year after year, our church goes to the same place. So my next year, I went, now 15, and we had been there a little bit. And one of the translators came up to me and was like, Kristen, did you send Carolina a dress? And I was just like, oh my gosh, yes, I did. And by that point, honestly, I wasn't really even thinking about it. And so she's like, come with me. So we walked down this dirt road, and I'm pretty excited because I hadn't gotten a chance to go to their personal houses, which I say that loosely because, of course, they're the corrugated metal and just kind of tied together with cords and some bamboo poles and random pieces of wood, you know, just very, very humble. And we go in, and I don't see Carolina, but there's a lot of family members. And on the side of the house, there's wiring with a chicken coop. and they're all talking in Spanish very excitedly. And they come over and they start hugging me and talking excitedly in Spanish. Don't understand a thing. And the translator's trying to catch up. And she's like, Kristen, when the teenage girls turn 13, they have arranged marriages. And Carolina turned 13 and she got married and she's with her new husband in another village. And she was so thrilled because that dress you sent became her wedding gown. And she was so thrilled to have something nice to wear because there was no way that she was going to have something nice to wear. And the $5 that they found that made it, they invested in this chicken coop and were raising chickens, and they were selling the eggs in town. And they were breeding the chickens, and they were giving these to all the family members, and they're all still talking, and they're all still talking very excitedly in Spanish and just going on. And the grandmother, the matriarch of the family, comes up, and I'm only getting this through the translator, and you know, the translator's listening and then trying to explain to me how the grandmother feels like I am now one of their family and have just brought their family out of poverty. And she's a widower and she wants to, I guess, symbolically adopt me into the family. And she takes off her ring and she gives it to me. And I'm like panicked because I'm waiting for this translation to come fully through the translator, and the translator was like, I think you should take this because in the culture, I think it's, you know, you need to go ahead and receive this. And I was like, okay. And so I just tried to be gracious and receive it. And it's one of my very favorite prized possessions that I still have to this day. And the Lord just showed me several lessons through this God moment of sanctuary. Just first off, that teenagers make a difference in the world, that they have a pure heart, that they don't listen to the doubt or the skepticism that us adults have sometimes. And two, it doesn't take very much to make a difference. Sometimes it's just that $5. Sometimes it's just that one action of trying to celebrate a birthday, and it gets multiplied like the loaves and the fishes just into a great sacred moment of sacredness coming down into the ordinary. And I found my call. I often call it being wrecked for Jesus, just my call and passion to youth, to missions, to seeking out making a difference in the world. So may you too know that you have been fearfully and wonderfully made, and may you too lean into seeing and experiencing and encountering some of these moments of sanctuary. Blessings on your day.